Hola, you amazing artist. So Clee is at the market today, and I've gotten a few text messages from her because it seems like the market is sucking a little bit.
Rafi's Rambles, Rafi's Rambles, Rafi's Rambles.
So I wanted to do this video real quick to explain that doing outdoor markets or flea markets or art festivals or any of those things, they can be a lot of work. They could suck really, really bad. They could be extremely slow. They can be a horrible, hot and humid experience, which is something that I've had to deal with. One of my patrons on Patreon just sent me a thing about her market setup and how she spilled coffee on herself and it's cloudy and rainy. There can be bugs, there could be ants, red ants like we were dealing with this morning. It can be a soul-crushing experience. The text message that I got from Clee says, "I don't understand why people even come out here to just walk down the center of the walkway and not actually stop at any of the tents. It seems like a miserable activity for a hot day." Pretty much what Clee is experiencing today is something that we call the zoo exhibit experience.
It's soul-crushingly hot, and we sit here and stare at each other, and the people walk by and stare at us. So there we are, staring at each other, being stared at, which I like to refer to as the vendor zoo exhibit season.
Beer Fest.
Yeah.
Oh, Beer Fest. So when I tell you go out and try different shows, it doesn't mean that you're going to go out and try a show and that you're going to just keep doing it. The city of Pensacola was putting on an event called Beer Fest, and they approached me and said, "Yeah, we would really love it if you were there. We usually did Yoga Festival," but I was like, "Yeah, Beer Fest. This is like the perfect opportunity." No, it's not. But I'll tell you why. So we did the divide and conquer thing, and Clee went and did the Yoga Festival, which was a 3-day show, and I did the Beer Festival, which was a 2-day show. Clee was at the show, and it's beautiful. It's like over by the ocean, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful show. We had done it several years. I was like, Beer Fest is gonna be good. At least we get free beer. Well, I go and I set up at Beer Fest. I did not get free beer. I was supposed to get a wristband, did not get the wristband, which was the only reason that I decided to do Beer Fest. And because I thought that I'd sell stuff, people get drunk and they buy things. What ended up happening was everybody was lining up by where they were giving out the beer, walking around, and we became zoo exhibits. And to the left, you have the artist with the bandana.
Watch as the artist crouches in his habitat.
Where you become what feels like a zoo exhibit as people are just kind of walking by, admiring the weird creature that is the artist that is set up at this festival. And the fact of the matter is that there are going to be days that are like that. Some days are going to be amazing and beautiful, and everybody that comes into your area is going to be amazing and beautiful. And then there are some days where it just feels like everything is going wrong, where it's hot and humid, nobody is coming into your booth, you are just miserable. The thing is that those experiences could impact how well you do at the market. If you are there and you are miserable and having not a good time, then your sales are going to suffer. I know that on days where like I was struggling with my happiness because I was like, this freaking sucks, I didn't do as well, I didn't sell as much. And it was interesting because it was just a mild change of perspective. Like you get up out of bed and you stub your toe, and then you're upset that you stub your toe, and you walk into the kitchen and then you bump your head on the cabinet, and it just seems like everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong. And I have a feeling that with the market it's the same way. Like whether or not it starts off where it's just too hot and everything is working on, I just spilled coffee on myself and blah blah, it's like it seems like everything just adds up. And I've always equated that to like your attitude, like where you're at. And I've even told myself at points like I better like chill out and put myself in a good space because man, I just stubbed my toe and bumped my head. I don't need anything major to happen now. I think that is the trick. If you are able to go out and do a market and enjoy the good days, and on the days that are much more difficult, you're able to focus on something that makes you happy or something to look forward to in that experience, or to actually have a good time of it. And then I think that markets are for you. If even on the good days you're like, this sucks, and on the bad days you're like, this is horrible, this really sucks, then what I would recommend is you do a few markets and really see if you could turn yourself around and have a good time while you're there. And if you can't, I honestly would recommend not doing markets, finding different venues for you to be able to do. If you don't enjoy doing a flea market, do not do a flea market. If you don't enjoy doing a farmer's market, don't do the farmer's market. If you don't enjoy doing small art festivals, don't do small art festivals. I would never tell you to do anything that you are just not comfortable doing or you don't enjoy. Or you can't find a way of enjoying, because a lot of times too it's us just being whiny, and I've had plenty of days where I was whiny and like, oh, this sucks, and then of course the whole stub your toe and everything just would perpetuate. I think you should still definitely try it and try different things and see if you could find a way to have a really good time doing it. And if you can, then awesome, then keep doing it. It is a great way to market yourself out there. It's a great way of putting yourself out there. Don't try it once. Sometimes it's not the market itself.
Do you remember the PMA Art in the Park that we did?
Oh, yeah.
And we set up, and I think that was a 2-day show, right?
It was a 2-day show.
And it poured on us
day.
the first day.
Yeah.
And there was nobody there. And I remember I was grouchy, but there was a man across the walkway from us that was far more grouchy than I was. And I'm pretty sure that was just his overall general demeanor. And I remember him saying some pretty messed up sounding stuff to potential customers.
Yeah.
That was really off-putting. I could overhear it. And I thought to myself, oh, that is absolutely not how I want to be presenting myself.
No, this isn't forever. You're not going to be sitting at this miserable festival forever for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You're just trying it out and seeing how it works, and you try to make the best of it. How can I turn this situation around? It's almost like you get to see yourself and the potential of who you could become in a situation that's not so great. So you get to show yourself who you are or who it is that you want to be. So like if you're able to turn it around and say, you know what, I'm just going to have a good time. I'm just going to sit here, enjoy it as much as I possibly can. The days where it was like super hot and I don't like the heat, but that we enjoyed just buying copious amounts of iced tea or something like that. Like just
appreciating the little things.
Appreciating a cold drink on a hot day and turning it into that instead of, oh,
how can I make this the best for myself so I enjoy it? And also, I want people to feel good.
Yeah.
If they've interacted with me.
Yeah.
I don't want to give them any kind of stink eye or nasty feelings. I want people to approach me and end up leaving my space feeling really good.
Whenever we're not in a good mood, we're not representative of our best selves. Like if you're feeling sad or you're feeling discouraged or you're feeling angry about something or you're feeling frustrated, you don't present yourself as you.
No.
I think the best version of you is the one that just like, all right, whatever, I'm gonna have fun. I don't care what's going on. I'm gonna make this as fun as I possibly can. The difficult part is that a lot of times we get booked for shows ahead of time, so we don't know what the weather's gonna be like that day. But I've gotten to the point where, like, if it is going to be a miserable experience for me and there is nothing I could do to change that, I don't do it. But that's just me. Clee, on the other hand, she has a much more higher tolerance. I wish that I had that because I would definitely benefit from being able to do like the market today or the market on days where it's hot. But I just don't. And if anything, it's going to harm my business even more because when I am out there, I'm in a foul mood. And that's what I'm putting out there. That's what people are going to associate me with. And I don't want people to associate me with a foul mood because I'm not a foul person. So to make things simple, I would say try doing outdoor markets. And if you're doing the outdoor markets, know that there will be days that things could be completely and utterly miserable. And there will be days where things will be amazing. And a lot of that depends on where you're at emotionally and mentally. If you could go out there and have a good time despite whatever is going on, then I think that doing markets and festivals, that is totally for you. If you go out there and you can have a good time during certain days, but on other days it's not so good, then I would be a little bit more picky about the days that you decide to be out there. If you go out there and you just cannot stand it at all for no reason whatsoever, then I suggest you find a different way to put your stuff out there. I would not force myself to do anything that just made me miserable. For that, I might as well go and work in a cubicle somewhere. Why take something that I love and make myself miserable? I'm trying to break out of the mentality that like when you work and you make money, it sucks and it's hard and blah blah. And like I know that I'm gonna try to bring that into my art career. Just having a good time. Just to have a good time, enjoy life, make the most of every experience. And if you go out and you've done the market a few times and you're like, this really sucks, I don't want to do this, then don't do it. And that's it, you guys. Thank you so much. I absolutely freaking adore you. If you like this and you want to watch more like this, you click right over here to subscribe. And that's it. Lee's not here, so I'll say good day for her and adios.